Ehren Jarrett begins a new chapter from leading one of the region's largest school districts to taking charge of Hononegah Community High School. Wednesday evening, he attended his first school board meeting in his new role. Miriam Niesmeyer talks one-on-one with Jarrett about his second stint at the district. And Miriam, he tells you he's excited to use his previous experience to fit Hononegah's current mission.
Daniel, Jarrett tells me he's eager to return in his new role after spending almost a decade at Hononegah earlier in his career. He says starting conversations with staff, students, and families will help shape the district's next 5 years.
I'm so excited. You know, it's been 15 years since I've been in this district.
Ehren Jarrett took a new seat at a familiar board table Wednesday, this time as superintendent.
I just feel grateful that I'm going to get a chance to reacclimate to the community.
Over the next 90 days, Jarrett plans to hear from staff, students, and families and report feedback to the board in October. He says he plans to use community input to create a 5-year strategic plan.
All in all, I just can't wait to get started with the work of learning what people feel about this great organization and this great school system and reporting that back to the board.
School board president Dave Kurlinkus says Jarrett's previous work as Hononegah's principal gives him a strong start in his new role.
He implemented a lot of programs as principal that are still being used today.
Kurlinkus says the board feels confident in its choice and looks forward to seeing how Jarrett leads the district.
I think he'll work well with the administration and the staff to maintain and even exceed what our expectations are. So that's what he wants to do. He wants to make sure that Hononegah remains a destination school.
Jarrett points to Hononegah's graduation rate, ACT scores, advanced placement success, and college readiness as areas of strength.
A lot of our students are not only graduating high school, but they're graduating high school ready for college and career. And ultimately, I think that's one of the main reasons we exist as a school system.
Jarrett says Hononegah's single campus structure gives him the chance to personally talk with all 224 staff members, something he says is hard to do in larger districts.
Now, Jarrett also credits student achievement to the former superintendent. He says he hopes to build off that success. Well,